Hello, everyone. Yeah. All right. Well, I am Taylor Kingsbury. I know that some of you have gotten emails from me for mentorship, and also if you are a scholarship reviewer or have applied for scholarships, you probably got an email from me. I'm very excited to see you all. We have a great turnout so far, and like I said, just put your name in the chat, and that way I know who's here, and I can send out the link to those that didn't make it, because I am recording this. And I can also send it to anyone who wants it as well. Like I said, my name is Taylor Kingsbury. I am a program officer at AISES. I am in the student success department, and so I run the mentorship program. I also work on scholarships and internships, as well as college and career readiness. And I also do a lot of other fun stuff at AISES as well. And so I'm excited for you all to be here. So I am going to start my PowerPoint now. I'm a member of the Chickasaw Nation. I'm also Choctaw. I come from Oklahoma. I was born and raised in Tishomingo, Oklahoma. I now reside in Boulder, Colorado at the Colorado office of AISES. And I'm very excited for you all to be here and to be a part of the mentorship program. The mentorship program started in 2019, so it's still a very new program for AISES. This is actually the first year that we have had funding, and I'll talk a little bit about that a little later on. But you will be part of the biggest cohort we've had so far, and so your opinions and your input and your participation means a lot to AISES, and so we're very excited to have you all here. Some people are still joining, so I'm going to give everyone just a couple more minutes to join. And then we will jump in and get started. I don't anticipate us taking the whole time unless we have some questions, because I'm just going to kind of go over the program, the expectations. I'm going to talk a little bit about the roles of mentors and mentees and what AISES is looking for in this program, and then answer any questions that you have, and hopefully just offer you, just let you know that we're here to support and facilitate, and to answer all of your questions and to help build out really strong mentor and mentee relationships. So still a couple more people coming in. I am going to go ahead and let's see, there's another one. Okay, let's start this.
Hey, no.
Okay.
No biting.
Just gonna make sure I have everyone from the waiting room in. I think I do. I'm just gonna make sure. Okay, now that the waiting room's open, there should be people. Okay, so let's get started. So, like I said, my name is Taylor Kingsbury, and here's kind of the agenda we're going over for the Full Circle Mentorship. So, we're going to talk about the program, talk about the program timeline, the mentorship importance, and kind of what AISES sees as mentorship, the roles of both the mentor and mentee, the commitment forms, and then any questions that you have. So, a little bit about the Full Circle Mentorship Program. Like I said, it was founded in 2019. This is the first year that's actually been funded by the Jack Kent Cooke Foundation, which we're all very excited about. And it's a really small amount of funding because, like I said, this is really generally like we're looking at this as kind of like a pilot program. So you're our largest cohort we've had so far. And so we really value your input, and we're just so grateful that you're joining us on this journey. And what AISES is kind of looking at mentorship as is an opportunity for STEM professionals, specifically our professional members, to be able to really give over this knowledge to young STEM professionals as well as STEM field college students. So we want to kind of look at this like, oh, I didn't want that to do that. Okay, there we go. We really want to look at this as almost like an elder situation. And so we want these students to be able to come in and learn from the mentors as an elder in this field, but also as an elder in life and someone who has gone through probably more stages in life than the mentee has. And so the mentorship is built around a year-long process. And so we're looking for you to meet once a month. And that meeting can be through texting, it can be through email, it can be through a Facebook message, just any kind of contact once a month, because you really want that to be a support system. And so, if you have nothing to talk about that month, that's totally fine. But even just a small check-in could probably do wonders for either the mentor or the mentee. To follow the mentorship plan that you as the mentor or the mentee, when you meet with each other, you come up with that plan to meet. And that is for accountability, but it's also to kind of talk about the process of how to build out relationships and also build like that accountability to where, mentees can learn that skill, but also mentors can learn that skill as well. We provide support, AISES does. So I have matched and rematched and will continue to do that. Life happens, we're very aware. And so if a mentee is not able to continue or a mentor, I'll actively be rematching, actively reaching out to parties that are not able to facilitate their end. And so I really want you to look at me and AISES as someone to support you in this journey. We're obviously not going to write this journey for you. Like, we want you to be invested. But we know that doesn't happen all the time, and stuff happens. And so we wouldn't be here to support that for you. We'll be doing webinars every other month. They're totally optional. You can come, or you don't have to come. Your mentor or mentee also does not have to come, but we're going to be covering a various number of topics. And so we're going to be looking at 1 month like cultural accountability and responsiveness and what that means in mentorships and menteeships. We're going to be looking at National Mentor Month, which is in January. And so we're going to be spotlighting some of like the stories that we hear through this program and other programs. We'll be looking at communication skills and styles, and we'll be bringing in some professionals as well to kind of talk about these things in some of the different webinars. Like I said, they're optional, but we do, if you want to come, we would love to have you there. And we're going to open it up to all of AISES as well in some of them. And so there will be large audiences sometimes. And then evaluations. So we really want to be able to make sure that we're facilitating this in a really responsive manner. And so what we all will be doing, I will be doing, is reaching out every other month to make sure you're meeting with your mentor or mentee if you have any problems or any questions, and then also sending out one half, like the 6 month, the half year, I'll be sending out a survey, just like a quick one. And then at the end of the year, we'll do a larger survey. I mean, I say larger, it will probably take like 5 minutes, but really just to be able to tell the Jack Kent Cooke Foundation, like what we've learned, and also to be able to build this out in a larger capacity. Because, mentorship it can be a really life-changing thing for people, for the mentor and the mentee. mentee. And we want to make sure we're doing that in a very responsive way. So for the timeline, this is June 1st through May 1st. So like not quite a whole year, but almost. And so that's kind of the timeline we're looking at for this cohort. And then after that, we'll go into rematching. And obviously, if you enjoy the program as a mentor or a mentee, we would love to have you come back and do this with us. So it's not like just like a one-year thing. You can even continue with your mentor or mentee throughout if you end up like loving that relationship. We would love to have you just continue that. And we hope that happens. So a national conference meetup, if you are coming to national conference, we are going to have a little like just very casual meetup in a room with maybe some cookies and some coffee and just kind of talk and meet and just kind of discuss what we're learning and who we are in person, since we haven't got to do a lot of that historically in the past year and a half. And so if you are going to national conference, we would love to have you stop by. I'll be sending that information out to you when it gets closer and we get a certain time of the day. Like I said, I'll be offering in check-ins. So August, October, February, and April are kind of when I'll be sending out those emails. Like I said, very informal. I just want to make sure that you don't have any questions and that you feel supported. For webinars, we're looking at July, September, November, January, March, and May. And I will be sending those out later as well as I start booking out professionals and start looking at the different topics that we'll be doing. And we also will have an end of the program evaluation. So this is just a little bit about the kind of the information we use to build out this mentorship program. So we built on the idea that everyone needs some kind of support and guidance and community. Even if you're a mentor, like that community of having a mentee is just as beneficial as for the mentee to the mentor.
Excuse me, it's difficult
and we really
to
want
hear
that to
you
look at,
with the
look like
phone
extended family,
that is not
elders,
muted.
professional contacts, and networking. We really want the mentorship program to be a little bit of a choose your own adventure. So what works for you? But we do want you to feel like you are creating a network or creating some kind of community together. Because as Indigenous peoples, especially in the world of STEM, we've been historically underrepresented. And that's really what we want, that barrier we want to break down. So we want mentees to see mentors as someone in the world of STEM that they can model themselves after, and that as an Indigenous person on either side, that they can see themselves in that world that has historically not been very open to Indigenous peoples or Indigenous ideas, but really bringing that's why it's called full circle, because we want it to be that someone that comes in that doesn't feel like they belong in that world, to see someone like themselves or someone who has that experience, and to bring them full circle, bring them through their academic world or their young professional career, and then show them a pathway that they can follow or model. The research, there's been a lot of research done, and especially in the Indigenous community, there's been a lot of research done on mentoring and how important it is to have someone in your community or in your world that looks like you or has had the same kind of experience like you, and that it helps build out better academic performance. It helps strengthen that passion and relationship with the field, increases a sense of belonging, and so modeling that sense of belonging, and then increases confidence and leadership skills. So for the more specified, oh, sorry, I think we have some hands raised. Yes. Let's see here. Let me see if I can unmute. Hold on 1 second. Okay.
I don't know if you can hear.
Sorry, I had this in a certain.
Hi, I'm sorry.
Oh, no problem.
Challenging to hear what you're saying because
Hold on once. I'm so sorry. I had this in. Let's see. Ask to unmute. Okay, William, I think I just asked you to unmute. I think you're, there we go. There you go. Oh, actually, I cannot hear you.
Can you hear me? This is Marlene.
Okay, let's try this again. Marlene, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you clearly. I raised my hand, and I think others raised their hand because there's someone calling in. And
I'm
they're
so
making a
sorry.
lot of-
I can't hear anything back from anyone that's speaking. If you do have a question, if you just want to throw it in the chat, I can read it off that way. That might be a little. Let's see. Oh, y'all couldn't hear me?
Yes.
Let's see here. I am so sorry. I've not had this problem. Okay. Yes, so you can hear me. Yes, I cannot hear any of you. Let's see why that is. Okay. I'm so sorry. Let's see. Okay. There we go. So, okay. So William, will you go ahead? You have a question? All right, let's see. So sorry about that. I think I have everyone muted. Okay. But William, I cannot hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Okay. It's weird.
that is very weird. Okay, let's see. Okay, so we have some hands up, so let's see. Jessica, you had your hand up. Do you want to speak?
Oh, it was just that other phone number was calling in and we couldn't hear you if they were talking over you.
Oh my goodness. Okay. I'm not sure why my sound was not working. Okay.
So it's that 208 number.
Okay. Great. Okay.
Thank you.
No problem. I'm so sorry about that. So, I'm so sorry. Do I need to go back a couple of slides? Is everyone pretty good? Okay. Pretty good. Okay, great. Okay. So
Maybe just watch the chat too.
yes,
To see if there's things. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I'm so sorry about that. I was on my roll.
Can we get a copy of the slides?
Yes, yeah, I can send you.
Because I couldn't hear you.
Okay, yeah,
They're
I'm so
really
sorry about
loud.
that. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I can definitely send out the slides. And so let's see here. I will start presenting. Okay. Well, now that we are on track and you can hear me, I'm so sorry about that. So for the mentor roles, so what we really want to focus on is building out a place of trust. For a lot of these mentees, as Indigenous students or Indigenous young professionals, there's a lot of firsts that are happening for a lot of students. The first person to go to college in their family, or the first person to get a graduate degree, or even their doctorate, or the first person to go into a STEM field in their profession. And so what we really want to build out is a relationship that's built on consistency is a big one. And so as a mentor, it can be a little frustrating at times to have to seek out, your mentee, have to be the leader in those kind of relationships for scheduling, But that's kind of what we want you to try to build in your mentee, is a relationship of consistency, and also a place where the student feels like they can be, or the young professional can feel like they can be heard, and safe. And so to build out a relationship that is, has respect for each other and the journey that you've both been on, but also a place that the young professional or student can come and feel like they can tell you what's going on, not only in their profession or in school, but also in their life. And because we really want this to be a community feel. Another one is to get to know the specific challenges of the mentee. So this might take a little time for the mentee to open up, but asking questions, showing interest, not just looking at this as a relationship to teach this person something, even though that is part of it, but also to learn who this person is and learn about their circumstances, because that's also going to help you build out how you actually mentor this person. Because especially in the Indigenous world, a lot of us come from rural environments, is a big one, and so that's something that can be a factor in how you mentor someone. If they have very limited internet access, maybe that affects how you communicate with this person, or maybe they're only going to a smaller college and there's not a lot of opportunities for internships or for funding. So these circumstances are stuff that we want you to seek out in your mentee, in order to help you build out your roadmap of how you're going to invest in this person. We also want you to help them seek out, new experiences and opportunities, whether that is, say you heard about an internship that this person might be a good fit for, or if they ask you for a letter of reference for a scholarship or for academic funding that they're seeking out. Tutoring as well. So maybe they have a certain question, maybe they're still in college and they're in a course, and they want your opinion on how to, write out a certain line of code, or how to do proper research in this field. And so we wanted to not only be a academic or professional, but also in life as well. So, and for you to be, as a mentor, respectful to the mentee. A lot of, like I said, this is the first years in college, or these people in very early professional fields. They might not exactly know how to be responsive in these relationships. These might not be hard skills that they have yet, is how to be an effective communicator. And so for you to be a leader, respectively, of course, and knowing the challenges that your mentee is facing. So listening to understand, focus on the mentee's journey and your journey as well, and your journey together. Focus on inner wisdom. And so not just wanting to give all the answers, but to really help them focus on, learning these skills from you, and reflecting on their own wisdom inside, and focus on reflection as well. And so asking them questions, especially about their tribal communities, if they are Indigenous. So learning more about who they are, asking questions about their family, and then asking them, who they want to be in life and how you can help them achieve those things. So as a mentee, we want you to be responsible for also gaining your mentor's trust and confidence. And you can do that in a number of ways, but a lot of it is going to be to look at your mentor literally as an elder, even if they're not older than you. The reason that you are seeking out a mentor is because you want someone to hold you accountable or to give you wisdom. And so look at them that way, as you would in an elder in a Native community, or as your professor, or even as an older family member, for someone that has something you want to learn from them. And so you want them to teach you something. And so, to be respectful, to show respect respect in that manner, and to know that they are giving up their time. So no one's being paid in this in this program, and so they're, you know, your mentors are giving up time, and like their time and personal commitments to help you in these ways, to invest in you. And so that's something that we want you as a mentee to know, that just as you want your mentor to invest in you, you have to invest that back. You have to give your time. You have to be responsive. Please do not let an email or phone call go for more than 2 weeks. If your mentor or mentee, that goes both ways, you know, please try and be responsive, and prioritize your energy and your time for your mentor, and because you're only going to get out of this what you give in. So if you don't give anything to this relationship, you're not going to get anything back from it. And to, like I said, be responsive and to keep your mentor informed, to let them know of the hardships that you're having. You know, you don't have to go into every single detail of your life, but it's important that if you want your mentor to know you and to be able to give you advice, or to be able to kind of guide you in that way, you have to give them information to go off of. You have to help build out that story, that they can start to kind of see you and know you and be able to really look at that relationship in that way. Express your goals. So, you know, you have to be able to tell your mentor kind of like what your long-term goals are. So that kind of gives them an idea of what kind of advice to give you, or what kind of resources to give you. You have to be open to, and you have to be open to those things as well. If you are going into this looking for someone to invest in you, you have to tell them like what you want to be in the future, or like even what your yearly goal is, because it's important that you give that information out as early as possible. And again, please respect them. Respect is going to be just the most like foundational skill that you're going to have to develop in a mentor-mentee relationship, is mutual respect. And that is for time, that is for position, and just really trying to be as responsive and respectful on both ends. So for the commitment form, some of you have signed it and written it out and returned it to me. And thank you so much, because that's kind of how we're viewing who is a committed person of this cohort. And so when we take this information back to the funder, or when I present it back to AISES, I'm only judging that by who has sent back that commitment form. And I'm not giving a time frame. I'm not saying you have a hard point, but it is going to help me evaluate. It's going to help see how many people we actually have participate through the entire thing. And so please meet together as a mentor and mentee. And it doesn't have to be, you know, ironclad. It can be malleable. It's like I said, your relationship in this mentorship, it can be what you want it to be. And so if you say on this commitment form that you are going to have a phone call once a month, but then, you know, it gets to be 3 months out and you're like, my month is packed, I can only do a quick text, like that is okay. If you are being responsive to your mentor or mentee and letting them know that, that's okay. That's okay. We are going to be totally fine with that. But this just kind of gives you a good idea of what your year is going to look like, and what you both expect out of this relationship. So agree to make an effort, check in once a month. You know, like I said, whether that's just a quick text, an email, a phone call, a Zoom call, if you're close in proximity, like a coffee date, like just once a month. And that's just going to give you those little benchmarks to make. And then you're going to be able to see this as like more of like a long-term relationship if you agree to be in that, and if you align. Discuss goals and expectations for each person. So, you know, you as a mentee, you need to know what your mentor wants from you for this relationship to work, and vice versa. Like I said, it helps us evaluate. And so I'll be able to look at this and say, okay, like this many people said they were going to check in once a month, and then promise to participate in the evaluation and be responsive in your communication. That's the commitment form. So next steps, meet or continue to meet with your assigned mentor or mentee. And I know that some of you had signed up. I have matched you. You have not heard back from your mentor or mentee. If you had been matched, I think it was 2 weeks ago, you might give your mentor or mentee a little bit of time. Please consider that this is summer. People are on vacation. People have just, or they're finishing up school. You know, this is a very interesting time to start these communications. So if you are in that cohort, please just give them just a little bit of time and understanding. But at the end of this month, if you've not heard back, you can email me and I will start to rematch you with other mentors or mentees that do not have a responsive counterpart. With that being said, I think altogether, AISES had just a little over 100 people sign up. So like run like 50 mentors and 50 mentees. Everyone, you know, the STEM world as categorized as it is still pretty vast, right? There's a lot of subsets of these things. And so you might be matched with someone who is not a direct equal to your counterpart. So if you are a hydrologist, you might not be matched with a student hydrologist. You might be matched with a student who is studying like environmental engineering or something closer to it, or studying some kind of water resource. And that's just because we just do not have the numbers to match you one for one. We just don't have that kind of participation. And so when you email me back, I'm probably going to email you and say, I have someone, but you have to be open to, you know, they might not be in a field very close to yours at all. But if you're open to learning about this other field, and if you're open to making this relationship more about being in a community with this person, to be helpful in their life, to give them the advice that you have, and to just make sure that, you know, as a mentee, you're helping your mentor build up their leadership skills. And as a mentor to a mentee, that you are letting this person know that they're not alone in their life. Oops, someone else is unmuted. If you are on, please make sure you are muted. Let's see. Okay. So that's just kind of how this program is going to be run. So I understand that, you know, in the years coming, we hope to build this up to where we can do a more one-for-one. But right now we just don't have those numbers. But I promise you, it can still be a very fruitful relationship if you're open to it. So read over the commitment form, discuss your yearly plan, know what you're going to be doing, and also be flexible and understanding. So you email that form back to me. And like I said, if you're having your trouble reaching your mentor or mentee, you can let me know, and I'm happy to rematch you with whoever I have available. That is no problem. So I feel so bad that y'all couldn't hear me at the beginning of this, and I just did not see that. So I'm totally, I'm very, very sorry. And I'm open for questions or any thoughts that you have. I know this was a little more informal than I would have liked to have been, but we are going to be having webinars throughout the year to kind of go over more specific topics of mentorship. And it's really important for me and for AISES in general to equip you, both mentors and mentees, with the skills that, yes, I can put the email in the chat, to build up the skills of being in a mentorship. Because I know for a lot of you, this is the first time you've either been a mentor or a mentee, and it's new for you, and we totally understand that. So we want you to know that we're invested in you. We want to help you build up those skills, and we want to be there to support you in this journey, because it is important. It's important, right? And especially in like this really weird flux time that we're all in, and a lot of these mentees, these students and young professionals have been living in a really different world than a lot of the mentors lived through in that time of their life. So they're in college, but they're fully remote, so they don't get a lot of that community aspect. Or, you know, you're at a job and it's fully remote, so you don't get a lot of that community aspect. So this is a really great opportunity to help build out more relationships and networks. And who knows, like maybe a mentor could be, you know, I want to know if my match mentee received my emails. Yes, Rita, I will be in touch with you. This is a good time to really, you know, help someone else not feel so alone in the world, right? And for the next year to be in contact with that person. And who knows, maybe you are, maybe your mentor, it will be, you know, could help you get the job of your dreams, or your mentee could become, you know, the next, could be publishing research and thanking you in their research for investing in them. Will there be time? Yes. So for the national conference, so we have not, so someone asked, haven't looked at the national conference, but we'll be there in time. Will there be time to meet at the conference if the mentee and mentor both attend? So yes. So for the Full Circle Mentorship, we will be meeting. It probably will only be like an hour. It's going to be very informal because, like I said, we don't have the funding for this to do an official session. But I do want to have a little meet and greet and see whoever's going to be there. I'd love to see your face and shake your hand or hug you, and we can talk more about mentorship and what you want out of this program. So I will be sending out that information as soon as I get that. We do have a travel scholarship open. AISES does. And so if you are interested in that, you can go to scholarships and apply for that. Are we already registered for the national conference? So if you want, so you'll have to register for the national conference on your own. And if you are there, we would love to have you attend, but we're not providing any funding, or Full Circle Mentorship is not providing any funding to actually go to national conference. So if you don't know, well, it says, how do we know if we're the mentor or the mentee? It's whatever you signed up to be. So if you signed up to be a mentee, so if you went through that process, then you will be able to, then you're the mentee. And if you signed up to be a mentor, you're the mentor. I didn't match you. I didn't put you as something that you didn't sign up to be. And so as long as you signed up directly to be a mentee, you are a mentee, and vice versa. And someone asks, I need a mentor. Great, Charles, just send me an email, and then I'll work with you that way on getting you set up with a mentor. Someone asked about the scholarship. Okay, great. Just send me an email, Kelly. I can go in and click and make sure that you are eligible for that scholarship. If it didn't come up for you directly, I'm happy to do that. Rita says, I'm willing to help my mentee financially as her mentor along with career opportunities. That is great. So the scholarship it's a travel scholarship for national conference only. Yes, let's see here. I am going to stop sharing my screen. I will share the link to the travel scholarship, but you have to have an AISES Wise Hive account. So this is, and you can create that there, but this is for our scholarships. So let me just grab that. And I will put that in the chat. Paste. Okay, great. Oh, I sent that as a direct message. Hold on one second. Here we go. Okay. Okay, great. So there's the travel scholarships. You can read all about who is eligible. I have a friend who's interested in joining but didn't apply for this mentoring program in time. Is it too late for them to join? No, as long as they're an AISES member, you can give them my email. We are always in need of extra mentors and mentees to jump in. And so Dana, just give them my email. I'm happy to work with them and get them matched. But like I said, it might not be a one-for-one. So please caveat that to them that they might get paired with someone who isn't a direct counterpart to them. But I will try to get them. I take in as much information as possible to try and get them as closely matched as I can. So yes, no problem. So, and I will be sending out these PowerPoints, my PowerPoint to you all, and the recording of this, even though I'm kind of worried about how the recording sounds now, but hopefully it's okay. Will only federally recognized tribal members be granted the tribal scholarship? Let's see. So for the travel scholarship, if you go to eligibility on the site, it'll show you all of the parameters for the scholarship. And so you can see exactly what you need to have in order to be eligible for that. And I dropped that link in the chat, and you can always send me an email with any questions that you have about it. Like I said, I am on the scholarship team and do work with that. And so I'm happy to help with anyone with the travel scholarship that needs it. So yes, and I greatly appreciate you all being here. I'm really excited about this program, and I hope you are too. And I think it's a really great and rare opportunity, especially in the world of STEM, to kind of create this kind of community together between, you know, people in like young people in the field, as well as people who have been in their field for a while. I think the knowledge from both sides is really needed, and the conversations are needed. And a lot of times in these spaces where we are underrepresented, we feel very isolated. And so I think it's a really rare opportunity to get to do this. So I'm excited. I'm excited for you all, and I'm a resource for you. And so any questions, anything that you need, I'm happy to help, and AISES is here to help, and we want you all to know that. So like I said, if you do not feel like your mentor mentee is going to be responsive to you, always email me and I can rematch you, or we can kind of talk through it. So yes, thank you all so much. Yakoke, I'm so excited. And if you have any questions, please email me. And I will be in touch very soon about the further webinars, about the national conference, and then with like just general check-ins. So that's all I have for today. Very happy to see the faces and the names. And yes, very excited to see you all and talk to you all very soon. Have a great day, everyone.